Yes. So I'm here at the beach today in Halmstad. It's a windstill day. The storm has passed. That was 2 days ago. But there's a lot of blown out stuff here on the beach from the last 3 weeks of storms. Let's see. Sharing. Yes, and today I'm going to talk about the meta crisis that Thomas Björkman calls it. I wrote an article last week, if you saw that. There's many people who discusses the crisis we have here in society today. Thomas calls this the meta crisis, John Vervaeke calls this the meaning crisis, there's a guy who calls it the cognition crisis, and Joshua Cooper Ramo together with the late Master Nan in China calls it the insanity challenge or the insanity crisis. And yesterday I came across a blog that call it the mega crisis. So why not call it the Uber crisis as well? So something like that. And what is this crisis we're talking about? Is it the crisis for real or something like that? Yeah, I will link to a conversation that Thomas Björkman has that I found that is very good. He explains it. That is all the things that going on in society today. We are on the peak civilization right now. We never had it so good. So like Thomas says, people who lived 100 years ago would consider this paradise that we have today. Even kings that lived 200 years ago would be very envious today. So we have it very good. People who have written books about it, like The Better Angels or Our Nature and Factfulness by Rosling, about how everyone has it better all over the world. But at the same time, there's a lot going on that is not that good. You have of course heard of climate crisis that's been going on for the last 40 years, and now thanks for Greta Thunberg it's on everyone's lips. And also the mass extinction of species, the pollution of plastic and other toxic things in the sea, overfishing of the sea and stuff like that. And this is not good. And the theory is that all these crises is one big crisis that is a human crisis. So this crisis is, let's say, our failure to deal with these extensionalities that we have created in our search for a happier, better, productive life here on Earth. And so it's all interconnected. And there's no other way we could have developed our society that we have today. Of course, there's some other path we could have taken, but we have gotten to where we are today because of the driving forces of economy, market economy, and then capitalism and innovation and cognitive revolution that's been going on for the last 400 years, the science revolution, where we discovered the scientific process to make everything better for ourselves. But now we are at what we call a road's end, a bifurcation point, Thomas Björkman calls it, where we either continue doing things like we do it today, business as usual, hunt for profit, we do everything we've done today, and then we're going to crush all the systems that we depend on to live here on Earth, the food production systems all over the world. It's going to become very unstable. There's going to be a shortage of water and food all over the world, and we can already see this beginning. And that will be the end of our modern civilization, we think at least. Some people say that tech will save us. I don't think so. Not in the short run and not in the long run. So you have to come up with the other way to organize society, and and to do that we have to understand ourselves and society. What is it that makes us human? What are the good parts and what are the bad parts that come of us organize us in massive societies and today in the global society. This has never happened before. And the mere fact that we can go along with strangers is a blessing in itself. Because if we didn't have this ability to trust strangers, we would be stuck in our hunter-gatherer bands around Dunbar's number, around from 50 to 250 people or something like that, like some of the largest hunter tribes, and we would be stuck there forever. But we have the ability to make deals, trade, and collaborate, and trust strangers, and that's what makes a society possible at all. But there's still some part of those humans that is counterproductive to that. Some of us doesn't trust strangers at all, and some of us doesn't trust all strangers like we shouldn't. But we have global systems like laws and police forces and everything in place today that makes it easier to trust people and make deals and trade and stuff. And now we have that on a global level, but we don't have a global rule for the global markets. So there's a problem there as well. You can see this like the hunt for recolonizing Africa now, like China and many countries are doing, buying up infrastructure to own the resources there. And we can see the overfishing of the seas that is not decreasing, that is increasing. We're fishing even more today in the global seas all over the world. So that's a problem in itself, and a lot of other problems, you get what I mean. So how do we solve this? And how do we get to the better of this? And I've listened to the last couple of years to so many smart and wise people talking about this, and I've been thinking about this non-stop, and also talking to people, talking about solutions and everything. And one thing we can do is what Thomas suggests, is the building of people. Like we have for the last couple of 50 years, we have been focusing on schools, teaching people the skills they need to be productive workers in today's society. But we haven't taught them so much the skills they need to be more human. And we can see that today, so many backlash going on in the world, where we discovered that as soon as people got access to internet and social media, it became amplifying channels for all the bad parts of us humans. So there are many bad behavioral patterns or that are amplifying across the internet today. We can see hate speech, racism and other stuff like that now are amplifying across the internet. Just like the good forces are the things we work, like the impact world and the sustainability world, that also amplifying, but everything is amplifying. And we now find out that we have been neglected to train all humans to be good humans in today's society. And some people like me have known about this for 25 years since we got internet, that this would happen. But most people just discovered it now during the latest 5 years, when Trump happened and Brexit, and a lot of the nationalist parties in our Western democracies are growing in numbers and strength for effects like this. Now it's a too big a problem to fix it immediately, but we have to have both a short-term plan and a long-term plan how to fix this, if we are going to have democracies at all, or we're going to adopt China's model. I don't think so either. So we have to come together and solve this in some way. And I think it's connected to the main part that I'm talking about, what we need more of in society. One part is love, that is love, compassion, empathy, collaboration, and all that things. And we need wisdom. And wisdom is to know ourselves, to know the world, to do more and better science and trust science and everything in that. And in that connected, we also need what we call curiosity. That is the ability that is connected to be curious about ourselves and find out more. It's connected to wisdom. It's doing more invention and more science of the stuff we need to find out about ourselves, the world we live in, the universe, and everything. And we also need a part that I call play, or silliness, or humor, or culture, or storytelling. That's all connected inside that. We need to develop these skills much further, to tell better stories, to play more, to be more joyful, more happy, whatever you want to call it. But it's all connected in a big hoop as well. So this is 4 of the things I think we need to solve this crisis. And we need to start working on them now. Both short-term solutions and also a long-term plan, how to develop all these things. So these are the things I'm thinking about this Meta-Mega-Über-Meaning insanity crisis that we have going on Earth. And you can check my picture with Thomas Björkman, I think 2 weeks ago now, where I sum up some of the best sources to this. So I'll link to that picture when this broadcast is done or you can find me and Thomas 2 weeks ago on my Facebook. There's a link to the crisis names and all the best YouTube videos and talks about this subject I've collected for the last 5 years, let's say. So that's it. Do you have more questions and curiosity about this? I have other plans about this as well, because it's also part of us living in a complex society. That's the speed of change, the speed of innovation, and all the other crises are speeding up. And the world society today is so large and diverse. There's so much knowledge, so many innovations, so many products, so many companies, so many organizations, so many events going on at the same time, similar all over the world, that no one person can keep track of it all. It has never been that, but today it's even more insanely possible. Even in your own niche or your own the niche you're working in, it's even impossible to keep track on everything that's happening with new innovation, products and events. So even in your very small silo bubble, it's becoming impossible as well. So my theory is that we need millions of people all over the world that do this full time, keeping track of things. I have a question. I have a funny question. I said that who knows who does what and who helps everyone doing it? That's the 2 questions I've been guiding my latest search that I came up with the last couple of months here. So who can keep track on everything that happens in your silo and bubble, and who can keep track cross bubble and cross silos all over society that keeps tracks on everything that happens? Who can you go to? Can you just Google things? Is it an AI or a machine learning that's gonna keep tracks for us? I don't think so. Of course, AI and machine learning can be a very good help to do this, but I think we need actual people who go around locally and globally, that we call local and globally, who keeps tracks on everything that happens, meets people, goes to events, visit companies, listen to everything that is said on podcasts, YouTube lectures around this, read reports, and share information with each other constantly, around the clock, all over the world, full time. So some call them weavers, we call them navigators, multipotentalites, evolutionary leaders, wisdom seekers, sense makers. There are many names to these people, and there should be, because everyone will have there would be many different roles to play in this force of people that keeps track of everything. And I think that should be like a local branch in every city where you can go in, maybe at the library or on some other location, a creative hub, an incubator, or SDG center, or whatever you want to call it, where there are people constantly that you can go, network, and ask for help, or that keep in touch and everything in that. So that's my theory, that we need local hubs all over in every city, or in the big cities, many hubs with these new roles that keep tracks on everything. So let's see, it's like the public servant that helps everyone else run society. So that's my theory, also what we need in this. And I, as a Captain Future, I call myself crew member of Spaceship Earth. So the main title, if you want to play around this, is a crew member or a captain of Spaceship Earth. We are the crew that helps everyone else doing their job of running this spaceship, this ship of us, this planet that goes around the sun. And I shared a quote yesterday from Bucky, Minister Fuller, that he wrote 50 years ago. It has to be no one or everyone. So everyone has to be included, because we're all the same sailors of this ship. And we have different roles to play in this, but we need a lot of more wisdom and coordination how we actually play our roles here on a large grand scale. I don't know if it's doable, but I think that's what we need to do. And I welcome anyone to talk to me more about it. Where can we, in what city, keep doors open, ask around, in which city can we prototype the first hubs around this questions and this thinking. So I would love to do that. So this is the crisis and my proposed things to solve all these crises: the hubs, the crew members, the lifelong learning of adults in the skills we need. So everyone needs to learn the skills, and also we need the special roles that the navigators that will do this full time, both do the navigating and also teaching all the skills to all other people. So there's also a role in that, being the teacher who teach the sense-making skills for everyone else, because everyone needs to have a little bit of sense-making skills, wisdom skills. Whew. I'm walking here on the Crystal Bills. You can hear my feet crushing all the seashells here underneath me, all washed up in the storm here. The last couple of 3-4 weeks here has been never-ending storms here in Sweden. So, but today's wind still, and a nice walk by the sea, which I love. I hope you catch and if you're curious or anything, just ask me more about this. So I love to talk more about you. So this is me, Captain Future, signing out from this, and I will be coming back to this topic many more times during the coming days, weeks, months, how to discuss this further. So bye everybody. I love you everyone for staying with me so long and listening and actually take your time to understand this.